Hello everyone! Welcome to Arludo Live. I'm so excited to have our second show today. Thank you to Mr. Cairns, who's joining us with his class today. Huge shout out to Mr. Cairns' class. Thank you so much. I hope that some of you guys had the opportunity to download the app at home today, so that way you can give us a little bit of a play. It's going to be a ton of fun playing a brand new game from Arludo called Xenon Crowe. But I'm really excited about today. We've got a really special guest, but before I introduce Fonti, I just want to say that if you're not part of Mr. Russell's class, or Mr. Cairns' class, sorry, and you want to join us and you want to play along, just head to your Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and download Xenon Crowe, and just search for Xenon space Crowe with an E on it, because obviously we all know that's a better kind of crow and a much cooler crow when it has an E at the end of it. So download that game and you can play along with us. And we're going to talk about how predators learn about the prey that they're hunting. So at this point, I would love to be able to introduce my guest, Fonti Kar. So Fonti, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. I'm so excited that you could be here
Me too.
today.
Thanks for inviting me.
It's super fun. Yeah, I'm so glad you could make it. You know how badly I wanted you to be on the show.
Yeah.
I've been talking about this for months.
Ages. Yeah.
I know.
It's
I know.
finally happening.
I know. Can you believe it? So you are a PhD student.
I am.
As you say with
So
a big
confronting when you say it that way.
smile. So would you mind being able to tell all the students out there kind of what a PhD is all about?
Yes. In a nutshell, or in my kind of nutshell, PhD is definitely a discovery of your own, and you really carve out a piece of science that is all that you become an expert about, and it's something you're answering your own questions.
Yeah. So you can answer questions about anything you're interested in, right?
Absolutely.
And what are you interested in?
At the moment, lizards.
Well, lizards are super cool.
Yeah.
Just everything about lizards, I assume you want to know.
At the moment, yeah. They're really cool, and Australia has one of the greatest diversity of lizards, so it's really the place to be to study lizards.
Yeah, and then it gets you traveling outside as well quite a bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't do crazy outside field work when I
know.
collect animals. It's very leisurely. I go to golf courses. And
Life, it's so hard, it's so difficult.
Yes.
So remember, folks, as you're watching the show, please ask questions. If you have comments or if you want to ask Fonti a specific question about what she does and why she does it, and please just drop us a comment in the comments box, and I'll pass that question along and we'll keep it going, kind of thing. So Fonti, now I know you're kind of hesitant about playing games.
Yes, just because I'm so into them.
So I assume that you don't play a lot of games.
No, not really.
So this is the kind of neat thing. Our little games aren't made just for gamers. They're made for everyone, so you don't have to worry about it. It's going to be pretty straightforward.
Okay.
Deep breath. It's going to be okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll just get into this game early on, so the folks that are joining us can actually play along and be part of the show as well, because that's what we're all about. We want to involve everyone in the science.
Great.
So maybe we'll grab the phone for Fonti.
Great.
And we are going to pull up Xenon Crowe. And you know what? Because I know you're a little bit scared, I'm going to play along as well.
I'm not scared.
No, good. Okay.
I'm just learning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, folks,
gosh.
if you want to pull up your Xenon Crowe app, or you can still download it. You still have the opportunity to download it, so don't worry about it. And in the upper left-hand corner, what you have is a tiny little round button that looks like a notepad. So if you head to that notepad button, you tap it, and in that, when that opens up, we want to type in the code 25June19. It's today's date, so that makes it pretty easy to remember. So type that in there and then hit submit, and what's going to happen is all your data is going to be aggregated on our cloud server, and we're going to be able to show all the data once we're all finished playing.
Do I do that?
No, I've already done it for you.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of made your life easy.
Oh.
I'm already making you do so many hard things anyway. So, shall we get started then?
Yes.
Okay, so now take a look around. This is the world that you're in.
So tell me when to start.
So, and you got to look for the play button. So find that play button, you can start it up. So folks, find that play button. When you find it, tap it on the center.
It started.
And now what you're doing, you are a Xenon Crowe, and you're in the cave. And you're looking for food. So try and find different prey items. You know, some of them are hard to find. So keep looking around. There's some, I found one. Okay. And then when you find one, you press the plus button, and you can zoom in, and then you can attack it with your Xenon Crowe teeth.
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah. So now, everyone, you want to live as long as you can. So you got to find any little creatures that you can to find to eat, so that you can survive. And the game is all about surviving as long as you can. You're really getting into this. I think you're kicking my butt also.
Oh yeah. Oh no! There's these colorful ones.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So I know it's not a lizard, Fonti.
Yep.
I know, but it's a Xenon Crowe, which is pretty cool.
Yes. Yes.
How
Stop
you doing?
distracting me.
So are you finding any?
Yeah. What point number are you up?
I'm now almost at 4,000 points.
Oh no, I got some bad ones.
I know, I just ate a bad one too. I can barely even see anymore. So I don't know what's going on. I hope you guys are doing a little bit better than we are. We're starting to get a little bit stuck. I'm almost dead. Oh no.
Oh no.
I know, oh no. I gotta survive longer than you, Fonti.
There's just colorful ones. I don't want no. Oh.
Oh, why is it that you don't want them?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no. It tricked me.
There's a lot of, did I trick you?
The red screen is definitely making it harder.
Oh, well, I know, it's because you're, I'm totally dead.
I ate these things.
Yes, you ate those things. You ate lots of things.
Oh my God, we're on par.
Oh, that's impressive. Dang, see, you are a gamer. That's, of course, if I call myself a gamer,
Yeah,
which
so
I do.
Maybe you just set low standards.
Not at all, not at all. Not at all. I just have confidence in both our abilities.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Yeah. All right, we're going to do this one more time. And I think I can survive longer than you this time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Shall we give it a go?
Yes.
Okay, so let's find that play button one more time, folks. We'll hit that. All right, that's it. I'm totally...
I've started.
Yeah, see, the one thing you're not getting in this experience right now, Fonti, is the cool music, the ambiance that's happening in the background.
Oh, what is the music?
I know, it's because it's going through the computer, but all the folks that are playing with us can hear this awesome music, which makes it feel more cave-like.
Just don't know if I should eat that. No!
I can't find any of the things I need to eat.
That's not fair. I'm
There's
dazed.
one. Yeah.
Oh, this is hard.
Well, yeah, being an animal is hard. I don't think, how easy do you think it is for your lizards to find the things they need to eat?
I think very hard.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, I keep getting bad ones.
Don't get the bad ones.
Breathe.
Which ones are the bad ones?
So the really easy to spot ones.
Ah, yes. I think some other folks are probably figuring that out by now. Oh my gosh, some of these are really hard to find. Ah, there's that guy I was looking for.
Nah. I'm doing poorly this time.
I'm actually doing a lot worse this time as well.
Ooh. I got it.
Oh, it disappeared. Oh, come on. I can't find one. Oh, I am so in the red already.
Oh no, I'm in the red.
Oh, you were.
No.
No, I'm finding some. I'm good.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like.
No. Oh, he disappeared just before I had him. No, Fonti.
No.
Oh, of course. Oh, wrong guy. What did you finish up at?
105.02.
Oh, I beat you by 5 seconds.
Oh, good play. Good game. I can play that for hours.
We should just do this whole broadcast the entire time, just playing, not doing anything else.
Yes.
Just constantly playing. So, how did you like being a Xenon Crowe?
I liked it, but it's hard.
Well, it's not easy finding, things to eat, is it?
Yeah, it's I'm kind of lost in this weird foreign land. I think if I was an actual Xenon Crowe, I would know what to look for.
Maybe you need to really embody the crow.
Yeah.
Really go zen-like. And really imagine that E at the end of the crow, and then it just kind of flows in there. That's exactly it. But, so if we kind of make the analogy with what some of your lizards are doing, they're kind of experiencing a similar kind of thing, aren't they?
Yes.
Kind of running around, trying to find things to eat. And you think it's easy for them?
No, but I think they do get better at it.
Yes, and this is kind of the stuff that your research is about, isn't it?
Yes. Some of my research that I did in my master's was about can lizards learn from another lizard?
Yes,
and
okay.
where to find food.
So that's almost kind of like what we were doing, where I asked you, well, which ones are you eating?
Yeah.
So
You're so sneaky.
I'm not sneaky.
Yeah, you are.
I know, but lizards probably don't ask questions like I did.
No.
But, how do they learn from one another then?
So they can have a peek from a sneaky location.
So just like a little, what's going on over there?
That's how I set up my experiment, is that a lizard gets to watch another lizard forage from a couple of spots, and only one spot they can find a worm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So they have to dig through things and to find these?
They have to, they use their little snouts and they use it and flip open a little lid.
That's awesome. I do like it. Does their hair also flow in the wind like yours when they do that?
Like Beyonce.
Beyonce's pretty cool though. So, do you put specific food items under specific lids?
We keep them all the same. So the only thing we wanted to test for is, can they learn from another lizard by cueing on the color of the lid.
Okay.
Otherwise, they might prefer a cricket over a snail over or a mealworm. So you want to keep that all the same.
So that's that control that you want in an experiment. That's really important.
Yes.
Okay. So am I allowed to ask what you kind of found?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
No, they're going to be so excited.
It's a bit. In my research, the lizards were a bit too stressed out from each other. So they had fought each other. I had put them in Lizard Fight Club.
Right.
And then...
sorry, Lizard Fight Club?
Yes.
Oh, come on, you gotta elaborate a little bit on Lizard Fight Club. I'm sure everybody wants to know what Lizard Fight Club is.
Lizard Fight Club is, I was interested in understanding what makes a good lizard a good fighter.
Right.
So winning these fights for a male lizard is really important, because if you win, you get that territory and you get anything that occurs in that territory.
Yeah.
And
having a territory is extremely important, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. So, folks, remember, if you have any questions, don't leave it all up to me. I've got a billion questions, and I can keep talking to Fonti for kind of ever. So, if you have any questions, though, or Mr. Karen's class, if you have any questions you want to ask, throw them up there in the comments, and I'll pass them through into Fonti. So, after Lizard Fight Club, then you kind of want to see, does that affect their learning as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And what we found was that lizards that won, or dominant lizards, were way better at finding food.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of interesting. And why do you think that's the case?
Well, it's because they seem to be good at everything. I thought, I'm a big fan of an underdog story. I was like, the little guys should be more smart.
Yeah, maybe they just know how to be sneakier.
Yeah.
But no, eh?
No, it's brain and brawn.
Oh, man. I'd like to say it's like me, but it's not like me at all.
We can
pretend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the little guys just take a little longer to learn.
Really? So do you think that amount of time that it takes an individual to learn could have an effect on how they do in nature, in real life?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they can capitalize on like a new cue in the environment, whether that's a new insect or a new source of food.
Or maybe a new predator?
Yes.
Okay.
It could be.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to talk about predators and lizards.
Okay,
we can talk about it.
Because you don't want to imagine that they're being eaten by anything? Nothing eats lizards.
No.
They're completely safe.
Australia, kookaburras.
I know. I've seen them catch them. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the one thing that we didn't have in our game, right? We had this pressure of trying to live as long as we can by finding all the different things that we needed to find as we were kind of playing. do you think how we may have hunted in the game would have differed if we had predators to worry about?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Finding
okay.
food was already stressful enough. Let alone have to look behind your back and be like,
Oh my God, run!
run, and then have buttons to then control your
Yeah, no,
running.
then it'd be super confusing.
And
but-
then, yeah, being an animal is very hard. I think we really take it for granted.
I think so, yeah, because often we see nature and we go, oh, isn't it beautiful? Everything's so wonderful. Everything's happening. And it kind of is angry
Yeah.
with things eating each other all the
Yeah,
time.
it's actually quite grim
Yeah.
being able to survive.
Yeah, fair enough. So I think maybe what we should do is probably take a look at the data
Yes.
that we've kind of collected. And we played a couple games. Hopefully some folks out there continued playing a little bit longer. And we'll talk about what we show. So if we can bring up those data. And
Numbers.
Yes, this is
Numbers.
This is kind of the fun part about science, isn't it?
It is for me. It's not for everyone.
It is for me too.
Okay,
I think
good.
it's the best
I mean,
part.
look at your T-shirt. I really want that T-shirt.
It's huge nerddom, isn't it? But I'm okay with that because it's like,
Ooh, graphs.
Yes. Okay. So now, this is how students played in all the. So we actually had some folks play it for 4 rounds, which is awesome. So thank you very much.
Wow.
We kind of cut it short and played it on 2.
Yeah, we got chatty.
So on the upper left corner, we've got the amount of points. And the kind of neat thing about the amount of points in this game is it's equivalent to
Lifespan?
exactly
Yeah,
lifespan.
lifespan.
So it's kind of a measure of fitness, isn't it? And that's what we use as evolutionary biologists. We measure fitness, and it's things like how long you survive or how many offspring that you have, right? So, and those are the 4 rounds that we all kind of played. And what do you notice the first thing?
It increases.
Yeah.
There's a positive trend. in
So,
how-
so it looks like we all got a little bit better.
Yeah, I didn't feel that way. But we must have.
But data don't lie, Fonti. That's the beautiful thing about data.
So this is across all the players.
This is across all the players that played.
Okay,
so
that's
it's not
good.
just us.
Phew.
So it wasn't just us that was doing this. It was all the players. So they got better. So, according to your thesis, what would you say?
That we are learning.
Ah, yes! I love
Learn,
it.
guys.
It fits like a puzzle.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
That's really cool.
Now the question is, I want to know, and if you guys want to know anything or have any ideas of what you think the data means, pop in a comment in the comments box, and we'd love to hear what you guys think, because this is a conversation not just between Fonti and I. You guys are into it as well, and be scientists and tell us what you kind of think.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you notice what we've got in the upper right-hand corner, we've got the amount of camouflage bugs. Now, do you remember those camouflage bugs?
They were very inconspicuous.
Yeah.
They were hard to spot.
They were. And why do you think, can you tell folks why that's usually the case?
Well, if you're hard to find, then you probably survive for longer.
Yeah.
And if you've invested in being in camouflage, so you don't have to invest in being icky and
or-
poisonous.
Yeah, or fast,
Yeah.
or a good hider. Or
Yeah.
anything, right? And that, so we have a question about the poisonous shiny ones, but we're going to get to that one in a quick second. But yes, the poisonous ones were the shiny, bright ones. So actually, you know what? Why would an animal be shiny and bright like that?
That's a good question. There's a couple of explanations.
Yeah.
One that's really popular is that if you're shiny, you're masquerading, you're promoting that
Yeah.
I'm out and I'm here and
You can see me.
you can see me, but you
Yep.
can't eat me because I'm signaling that I'm really not very yummy, not delicious.
But how does an animal learn that they're not yummy or delicious?
Well, that's why we had to catch a bit of those shiny bugs.
Exactly.
They were everywhere.
They
They
were-
just-
There's too many shiny bugs.
so you had to eat a couple to kind of get that response of,
Yeah.
I think you get stunned in the game.
Yeah, you kind of, the screen went all flashy, didn't it?
Yeah.
It was really hard to see what's going on, and you lost a bit of lifespan.
Yeah.
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 So we learned by doing, didn't we?
By trial and
experiencing.
error, yeah.
So that kind of means that I guess some of the bugs aren't going to be fully safe, are they?
You wanna maximize and eat the good ones.
Yeah.
And try avoid the bad ones.
Yeah, exactly. So, when we look at the camouflaged bugs, what we've got is looks like we're eating a lot more of them over the 4 rounds.
Delicious.
Delicious. Yes, absolutely. And that's probably because we've gotten better at finding them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so you guys got better at finding the camouflage bugs, which is really, really cool. And now we've got the shiny bugs that we had the question about. And what's happening there?
I don't know if I got any shiny ones. Are the ones that stunned?
Yeah, the stun
Okay.
ones. Yeah, the really bright ones.
Yeah, okay. They're very easy to spot again.
Yes.
And they kind of made you feel even more ill. There's like this lag period that you just can't function.
Yeah, exactly. And look what we're doing over there with how people are eating, or how the students are eating the poisonous bugs.
It drops off over time.
Because we've learned that they're bad for us, right?
Yeah.
And we learn pretty quickly, don't we?
Yeah.
You know, when we have a tummy ache, when we eat some bad food, we say, I'm not going to eat that anymore.
Yeah, there's some research that has to do with that effect in lizards. Some colleagues in University of Sydney, they've actually feed baby cane toads, which is slightly poisonous,
right,
to yellow-spotted monitors, and the monitors feel very ill afterwards.
But
then the next time they see a cane toad, they avoid it.
And that is good because
cane toads are wiping out all these natural predators.
Right.
And so once you kind of teach them to avoid them, they'll kind of just keep on doing that.
That's very good. So that is a real world application of
Xenon
what
Crowe.
we just did in this game, which is so awesome.
Yeah.
It's almost like we planned that.
Don't say it like we did, because we didn't.
I know we didn't. I swear we didn't plan it, but it was like it was. I'm sorry, I keep bringing it back to that, don't I? Which kind of ruins it. So now, you know, I'm just realizing now that question that we had about the shiny bugs probably wasn't the bright red and yellow bugs.
No.
You know, I just realized what they probably meant was the sparkling ones.
I don't think I got one of
You
those.
didn't get one of those.
Are
did
they
you?
yellow? Were they yellow?
No, they weren't the yellow. They were kind of camouflaged, so you could kind of see their wings a little bit. And then when you tapped them before you ate them, they went sparkly.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Fantastic.
So there's a name for those that we call them dimatic bugs.
Yes.
And can you explain to folks what dimatism is?
Dimatism or dimatic displays are really common in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
And they basically the idea behind it is that it's like a sensory overload. You're like,
Right.
whoa, what just happened?
Whoa, yeah.
And that just gives enough time for the prey to run away, or
Right.
to escape.
So it's kind of like shocking them.
Yes.
It's just like you're kind of sitting around, you boo.
Yeah. Great office pants. I'm so, One lizard example is like the blue tongue lizard.
Yes.
They do, when they feel threatened, they flash their tongue.
Yep.
Although it's not very threatening.
No, it's not. They're kind of really slow, aren't they?
I'm not even gonna try on camera.
It's okay. I don't mind. I do it. I don't even care.
But some research at my old lab, at the lizard lab, is that they made a blue tongue robot.
Oh, very cool.
It's so cool.
Is this with Martin Whiting?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's the
Martin.
best.
Okay.
And Sergio Noretto,
Yeah.
he was a postdoc in a lab, and because the tongue of a blue tongue lizard is
Yes.
is UV.
Oh, is it really? I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, but right at the back,
So not the front part.
not the front part.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't realize that. Well, I can't see UV, so I guess
Yeah.
that's probably why.
That would be cool if you can,
I
though.
know. It'd be amazing.
And so the idea is only when the blue tongue is really stressed,
Right.
where the mouth is really open,
Yeah.
that the UV signal creates a dimatic display.
Right. Okay. Okay. So so that they're really displaying that kind of change in reflection to the predators, and that's kind of scaring them off a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the same thing that we had happening with us as well, where we had these dimatic bugs kind of display. And the neat thing, if you look at the data, what we've got is we're actually learning that they're okay to eat.
Yeah, we've saw through their disguise.
I know, because the disguise wasn't tricky enough for us.
But that's when stuff interestingly happens, right, in evolution.
I know, exactly.
This is my favorite part of evolution.
I love it. So the part where you can kind of make sense of what's going on in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think your lizards are kind of interacting and finding different things in the field to eat that they probably shouldn't, and they're learning in the same kind of a way?
Not sure.
Yeah, it's-
I feel like there would be that opportunity to learn.
Yeah.
And bugs are very, they're known to create these toxins or,
Yep.
or distastefulness.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think it's very likely. I need to track my lizard to really know.
Yeah, I think that'd be when you put like little GPS
Yeah.
backpacks on them.
I just have my phone, just follow them.
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
be so cool.
So one thing I don't think a lot of folks out there actually know is how you catch lizards and skinks, which to me this is the most amazing thing, and I've always loved this. So Fonti, I need you to tell folks how you catch lizards.
The ones I'm working on right now, they're this small. They're the delicate lizards.
Yes.
And they're coppery brown. They're very common in your
Yep.
backyards. Some people call them penny lizards.
Right.
And we fish for them.
Okay. Now I think you need to explain this a little more. So is this like with a little fishing rod? Can you?
Sort of. There's no
Okay.
reel.
Okay.
I just have a very long pole, which is actually just an antenna from a radio.
An antenna from a radio.
I know,
mean, those
people-
things didn't exist anymore.
Yeah, we have to go to op shops to buy them. And at the end of that rod, we tie some fishing line, which
Okay.
is very hard to spot for a lizard.
Okay.
And at the end of that fishing line, we tie a mealworm.
Right. So you tie a tiny little mealworm. Now I was under the impression that you didn't use fishing line, but at some point you used dental floss.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yes.
At some point, we use that. And another technique called noosing is where you, using the dental floss, you create a bit of a loop sort of system.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
And that goes around the body of the lizard or sometimes the neck.
Right.
And you tighten it enough to just lift it up and grab it.
Yeah, so you don't actually end up harming the lizards.
No,
it's
it's
just kind of like a little scarf and go whoop, whoa,
Yeah.
and you kind of
Exactly.
like they do in what the Oscars when you're kind of pulled off stage with a.
Oh, that happens?
I don't know. I imagine it happening.
Okay.
I'd just love to see that actually happen. So we have a little bit of a question from folks out there. So is there a scientific name for the bugs that make themselves bright and poisonous?
Dimatic bugs? No.
Dimatic
not
is the
really.
ones that do that
The
camouflage it
display.
and then display. And now I'm totally and utterly blanking on this.
Oh no, you're like me, and I'm blanking a little bit too.
No, this is
Brightness.
and it'll come to us. It'll
It
come to
will.
us. You know, you just got when you can't remember something.
Aha!
Ah, yes, it is.
Epistematic.
Yes, aposematic.
Yeah.
Yes, that is. You're super smart, Fonti.
There's so much jargon when really
I know.
bugs that make themselves bright and poisonous. There's so much a better definition.
I
if you
know.
ask
It
me.
is easier and it kind of makes it a bit more accessible. It
Yeah.
shows you sometimes that science is behind all these kind of scary words,
Yeah.
but often, you know, they just mean really simple
You want
things.
to see past them.
Yeah, that's
Definitely.
exactly it.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, when you say bright and poisonous, everyone kind of understands.
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's super easy.
You can't really work it out from aposematic.
Aposematic. Yes, what's aposematic mean?
Don't know.
Yeah. So, you know, when you guys are catching lizards, you actually have to go through a lot of ethics, you know, to make sure the animals are handled properly and
Absolutely.
ethically, and you have to care for them, and that's super important.
Yes.
But it also means that there's only certain kinds of studies that you can do on your animals, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of that is put in place so that we don't take advantage of them.
Yeah.
It's about respecting the animal and
Absolutely.
learning as much as we can with as few animals that we can catch from the wild.
Yeah, and that's a lot of what ethics is about, isn't it? Just the smallest number that you actually need to answer
Yeah.
the questions that you're looking for. And I know that you guys have taken really good care
Yeah,
of your
it's really
lizards.
fun feeding lizards.
Yeah.
They definitely warm up when you open their little cage. You're like, look up, and you're like,
Oh my God, here's a
so
mealworm
cute.
for you.
Yeah.
They are
day.
pretty cute.
They
And I know Martin Whiting has these outdoor enclosures that you probably worked with as well.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, what's the benefit of having these kinds of caged in areas that are outside with lizards that you kind of know?
So one benefit of using these kind of cages that are outdoors is that it can mimic the natural environment a bit more.
Right.
Lizards are outside, they're a bit more happy,
Yeah.
they can really choose where they want to go. If they feel like sunbathing or basking,
Yeah.
they can. But if they want to hide in the shade, they can,
They can also.
also do that. So it just gives us a bit more control of the environment, but just enough for it to be a bit more ecologically relevant.
Right. So that means when you finish your studies and you get these results, they kind of make more sense in the natural world of that animal.
Yes,
Right,
yes.
rather than bringing them into a lab and just kind of doing stuff.
And the conclusions you can make is it's this population in this lab setting. And that can
which
go
is
so
always a
far.
little bit more limited, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that means you can do all kinds of different studies to answer questions that you're kind of interested in.
Absolutely, and you can tailor it that way, and I think that's really exciting. I think that's the coolest part of science, that you just have to be creative sometimes and think, what is the best way to answer my question?
And that you bring up a kind of an interesting point, actually, because a lot of people don't. I don't know. When I think of scientist, the first word that doesn't pop in my mind is creative.
I know.
That's an artist.
What's the first word that pops in your mind?
Nerd, I guess. But I'm okay with that because I'm fine with being that.
I'm happy with that too. I think of lab coats.
Yeah,
which is
that's true. Which is, I know, because that's how the media kind of shows us, doesn't it? We're always sitting in lab coats with safety goggles on.
Yeah.
Just making sure everything is okay. You have to be safe, Fonti.
Absolutely, perfectly planned.
Yes, everything is going according to plan.
Yeah. You cannot mess up anything.
But, what's kind of some of the creative things, if you can think of it, you've had to do that's to solve weird problems?
I feel like a lot of my science involves crafting a lot. And I think you're a behavioral ecologist and evolution. I think you can resonate with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That you don't go out to a store and buy a thing that's perfectly made for your experiment.
Like your fishing rod.
Yeah, my fishing rod.
Yeah,
I had to design that. I had to think, where do I get such a long pole that is retractable so I can carry it around?
Yeah.
Another experiment I did involves measuring metabolic rate of animals.
Right.
And that involves putting an animal in a closed chamber.
Right, okay.
And
what do you measure?
And measure the carbon dioxide that they respire out.
Right, so you're actually measuring how much they're breathing.
Yeah, a lizard's breath. Mum is so proud of me. And we had to design these little chambers. We had to Google, you had to get mason jars, we had to fit little taps on them.
Right.
There's a lot of crafting involved in science.
Yeah, okay. But, when people think crafting, they think googly eyes, pink hearts. No, this is glue guns and saws.
Yeah, and epoxy and spray paint and sanding machines, and it's very cool.
Yes, very kind of powerful things.
Hands-on.
Yes, yeah. But because of that, you're able to start asking questions you wouldn't be able to normally, right? Mm-hmm. So that creativity and that craftism is super important to being a scientist.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so, if you do like crafting, if you do like building things, it's maybe not an engineer that you want to be. It's actually
a scientist.
Or a biologist.
Biologist. Yeah. And if you like problem solving, I think problem solving is a lot of science.
Yeah, because, I don't know, PhDs always go smoothly.
Yeah.
Don't they?
No.
Yeah.
What?
So it's always, you're always coming up to different problems that you always kind of have to solve, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of takes a little bit of getting used to.
Yes, and I think that's something I still, and a lot of people are grappling with
Absolutely.
during their PhD or even now.
Even as an associate professor, constantly.
And does it get better? Do you get better with problems?
The problems get different. They're always new, right? Because once you solve a problem,
you can't use it again.
No, well, it's solved. That problem's not a problem anymore.
Yes.
So you always have new problems, and then you have new students who come in who want to do awesome research like yourself and ask new questions, and as a consequence, it's new problems.
Yes, new problems. How do you house the spider? How do you do this?
I know why the spider's so fast. Why they keep escaping?
Yeah. What?
Yeah. No, it's fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. No
escaping. Spiders have escaped.
Yes. So at this point, I think we have to kind of close down the show. Even though I think we could probably do this for another 2-3 hours.
Yeah, for a cup of tea, I could do this all day.
We'll bring some tea in here. Let's finish this off. We'll do another couple hours.
Yeah.
But I do want to say, actually, Fonti, you'll be joining us for a Sydney Science Festival event.
Yes.
That's on August 16th, and I'm super excited about that. It'll be Fonti, and it'll be 3 other scientists. We're going to be sitting up on a stage. chatting with students who will be there and on YouTube Live, and we're going to be playing games, and we're going to be doing all kinds of quizzes and trivia and all kinds of fun things, just to really get students understanding what scientists are really like.
I wish I got that as a kid.
I know.
I really wish I did.
I know YouTube wasn't around back then.
No.
No,
My
so-
science was really just books and
Yeah,
that's
and
about
now
it.
you've got an opportunity for so much,
Yeah.
which is really, really cool.
Very lucky.
So, you know, please subscribe to our channel. You know, hit that little notification button at the bottom, because your subscriptions and your support are going to help us get more awesome folks like Fonti in conversations like this, and it'll help support more outreach into rural areas, which is what Arludo is really all about. And you can see from what we've kind of done is we're playing these games and collecting data, and it kind of, you know, anyone can be a scientist.
Yeah,
and you know,
sure.
and you can be a scientist, which I think is really, really cool. So, Fonti, I want to thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, no, I
was so
had so
lovely.
much fun.
Yeah, it was
and we'll
really
see
fun.
you on the Sydney Science Festival. And folks, please subscribe. Please join us again. And, you know, keep those questions and ideas flowing. And I look forward to seeing you all next time. Thanks a lot, everyone.
See you guys.
See you soon.
That was good.
That was
Science!
awesome. Science.
Science.
I know I need to have an animation go up when someone does this, it automatically
Yeah,
builds a
just
rainbow that
rainbow.
says science. That would be
That
so
was
cool.
really fun.